Today, we're going to be looking at the very backbone of Bradford. It's a Toyota Corolla. But it's not just the backbone of Bradford, is it? This is the car of choice for every single takeaway offering a home delivery service southeast of Skipton. Every single kebab house, curry house, pizza shop in West Yorkshire owns, has owned or will own one of these in the future. This car is the backbone of West Yorkshire. Goes quite well along these back roads. It's quite nippy, quite nimble. Which isn't surprising because there's been a lot of non-locals caught stealing sheep around here. In fact, not just stealing, sometimes they're just butchering them on the side of the road, and they're usually in one of these. Under the bonnet, we've got this 1.4 litre petrol naturally aspirated engine. It's a 16 valve and it has variable valve timing, or VVTI, an engine commonly seen on Keighley bypass, making it ideal for darting about the back streets from your local West Yorkshire kebab house. It's also ULEZ exempt, so when they start banning all these diesels and big guzzling cars from going in city centres, you'll be fine with this. The car itself is actually a similar size to a Golf or a Ford Focus, but unlike those cars, this one's managed to make it to 155,000 miles without dropping in bits. It's also got quite a raughty sounding exhaust, or maybe it's just got a hole in it. That's the gamble you take. The exterior of this car is actually in quite clean, presentable condition, aside from this dodgy bit of welding that's been done down here. Now the other side has a piece of plastic trim to cover this whole sill up, but the colliers I bought this car off neglected to give me the piece of trim, and I can't find one in a scrapyard anywhere, so unfortunately the buyer of this car is going to have to look at that offensive bodge job for the remainder of their ownership. Inside the car, yet again, it's very clean and tidy, and there's lots of room. I mean, there's a lot more space in here than any VAG vehicle of a similar size that I've seen. There's actually more room in the back than a Land Rover Freelander, and look how perfectly that pizza box just sits on the seat. It's very simple and basic, like most Japanese vehicles, but not tacky at all. It's got everything you need. Look, we've got this little space down here to put your cash in when you're on your deliveries. Got a nice handy ashtray, a big nice size as well when you're smoking those Polish Russian cigars and fags when you're on your takeaway rounds. And there's these nice sized cup holders down here for when you're driving around pretending to be Elvis with your big gulp cup of Coke. What have we got here? Look, Corolla. Ah, budget, that's what I like to see, budget tyre and exhaust centre. Don't know if we've got any service history. Probably not, I think. No, we do have service history, it's been serviced twice. Got this handy little cubby hole down here to stash some bags in if you've got a bit of a sideline when you're delivering your kebabs. Well, electric windows all round. If you buy a Ford Focus, you only get two in the front. Look at that, starts up. No warning lights. You know, if this was a Ford or a Volkswagen on this mileage, the dashboard would be lit up like Blackpool illuminations. Exterior temperature button, nice and simple. Very simple climate control, and I think the air conditioning actually works as well. Or maybe it's just been cold outside. We'll find out in summer. Now, as you're probably aware, there's actually a cost of living crisis at the moment. Stuff's skyrocketing. If you own a takeaway, the cost of gas, electric, the foods, everything has gone up. That rolls down to the customer. The customers can't afford to eat the takeaways anymore, and everything goes bang. But I think I've found a solution. What if we can eliminate the need to have a permanent premises for the takeaway altogether? What if we just turn the car into the takeaway? Think of the cost savings. You've no bills, no rent, nothing. All you have to do is pay for the car that you were running anyway for your delivery service. The cost savings will be astronomical, and you're about to undercut absolutely everyone. So what I've got here is I've got two doner kebabs which I bought from the shop. £2.50, so that's £1.25 a piece. Look at that. 2 doner kebabs. They'd shaft you about 7 or 8 quid for this at a takeaway. And I've got a naan bread with cheese. What we're going to do, we're going to wrap these up and I'm going to cook them on the engine bay. They're still frozen obviously, freezer fresh. It says something about removing the sauce sachets and this and that. That's a lot of bloody hassle. It says cook the pita bread separately, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck them in with the naan breads. These bits of paper, I don't think they're necessary. Look at that. Look, that would be 7 or 8 quid in a bloody takeaway. I mean, I'm sure these won't set on fire on the engine at all. Be fine. Wrap these up. Tell you what, we'll wrap them up separately. Wrap them up in one. I mean, I'm only wrapping them up because I don't really want it all covered in oil and grease. I don't think the customers would appreciate that. Tell you what we'll do with the naan bread. I'll tell you what, we'll tear it open a bit. Put the cheese inside up in here. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Cheese naan. Look, they'd shaft you about 3 or 4 quid for one of these in India around by us, so you know. Look at that. Stuff. Right, well, let's take him to the car. Well, here we are, look, there's not really anywhere to put the food, so I think our best job is to take this plastic cover off up in there. That's more like it. Well, here we are, look, we've got our food, got our kebabs. Yeah, that's going to get warm. We'll sit it on there. Tell you what, we'll insulate it with the naan bread. And I'll tell you what else we'll do. We'll slam this back on top to insulate it all even more. It's like an oven now. Go on, you bastard. Look at that. Oh, yes. Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know how long we need to drive round for, so I guess the food will just start smelling through the vents when it's ready, so we'll see how it goes. Well, there we go, I've got the food cooking away on top of the engine. I suppose the distance to the customer's house will determine how well the food is cooked with each order, so it's not going to be a very consistent way of cooking food, this, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going uphill. I'm going to give the car depth to get it warmed up even faster, so hopefully it'll cook in no time and we'll have ourselves a good old kebab. Well, let's see if our food's cooked. Right, well, that naan bread slid out completely. That's actually pretty cold. Well, the kebab meat looks slightly cooked. I mean, it's a bit cold, but well, it's not frozen anymore. Let's have a look over at the table. Right, well, let's see. I'm starving. That kebab meat is, well, it's warm. This one's even warmer. Look, it looks cooked. I mean, I think kebab meat looks the same all the time anyway. What about the pitas? Well, yeah, they've got a nice crispiness to them, sort of. For the naan bread, well, that slid out. See if the cheese is melted. No, the cheese hasn't melted. It's done nothing. Anyway, let's have a look at this. I mean, what are you meant to do with these? Get some of this kebab meat. Ugh. The ketchup's defrosted now. Ugh. I mean, what are you meant to do with this? I mean, yeah, I think I could definitely charge a £5 for this. The customer be satisfied. As for the naan, well, just like a cheese sandwich really, I mean. Listen, if this was delivered to my house, no hassle, and it was what, a £5, I'd be satisfied. So I'm sure everyone else will be too. I think we're going to save a lot of people a lot of money with this idea. Yeah. So, if you're after a cheap Toyota curry wagon, look no further than this. Fetch 800 quid, it's got a 4 years MOT, so it's ready to sail up and down Keighley bypass for the next 12 months.
And the landlords are good, but they sear it open all night long. They don't still lying in the smoke inside, so go make bumps and get thoughts aside.